So thank you so much for tuning in, by the way. So after reading the caption of the broadcast, please read the description of the broadcast as well. Then like it, share it, invite your friends and your not so friendly friends and tell them to join us. That Maiyegun today. Maiyegun is live. Just like that. So we are going to call tonight's program a catch-up, because most of what I'm going to bring to you happened just before today, except for few that happened today. So the first one is the exposed conversation, right, between the minister Tinubu and the supposed committee of their Senate, probing the inconsistencies in the numbers or different positions of the Tinubu's regime when it comes to the economy of Nigeria, which they proudly claim to have recovered. And it's bouncing back. Everything is getting better, the blah, the blah. So reality is so different from what these guys, the pictures they are painting. And one of them, in anger, actually said, the inconsistencies in all of this and the breaking of the law by the same call could give them the chance, if they wanted, right, to impeach him as president. Impeach Tinubu from where to where? Okay, let's see into the book. So what are the questions? Do you know that since Tinubu came to power in Nigeria from 2023 to this 2026, they have not implemented up to 20% of their own budget in 3 years. In fact, despite the National Assembly passing budget every year, right, Tinubu's regime continued to manipulate the system in a way that they kept 2, 3, 4 budgets running, right? Like at the same time, to allow for all the looting, the stealing, duplication of agencies, creation of different unneeded, parastatals to just siphon money that can't be traced. Yeah, they all do know that. Somehow, the APC, Egbekegbe, that controls the National Assembly of Nigeria, they have their way of burying these exposés. How do you mean you have met your revenue targets on the one hand? Then on the other hand, you are borrowing like a drunken sailor. What are the correlation in your own accounting, whatever logic? Explain to us. The guy that put together Tinubu's tax law, Taiwo Yedele, they are now replaced Wale Edun as the finance minister, as well as minister of the economy. He gave this ridiculous response that somehow it sounded so genius to the Runukus of this world. I've seen all reactions to all of this. So what's the issue? In 2023, when Tinubu came in and he told you that they have removed subsidy because there was no budgetary allocation for it, blaming it on Bokwari, who was the one that signed the 2023 Appropriation Act into law, your 2023 budget. Then Tinubu came in 5 months later, right? 5 months after. So he said there was no provision for it. But guess what? From 2023 to 2024 to 2025 and now 2026, Tinubu's regime have spent over 11 trillion naira. Not on subsidy. They didn't call it subsidy. They now call it energy security expenses paid to those who are bringing in fuel into Nigeria. Mind you, Nigerians have been told that the sacrifice they are making, that skyrocketed, that changed their lives overnight, basically because Tinubu said subsidy was gone, right? And they were told that it was necessary. Many past presidents, many past governments have not been able to do it. But Tinubu did it boldly, and they are giving the states more money. Another lie, but here, why then have you spent over nearly 12 trillion naira that was never budgeted for on what you called energy security expenses? The government of thieves, by the thieves, and of course, for the thieves. In their 2026 budget, they have provisions, billions of naira, provisions for, be budgeted for building new palaces, giving money to churches and mosques as part of, according to them, to curb the youth exuberance who are now resorting into violence, crimes. So the role the church plays, the role the mosque will play, religion, is so crucial to the renewed hope agenda that they have allocated more than 40 billion naira for all of this. So when they asked their minister, come, you have severally told the people that, one, you have an idea of how to generate more money. And so far, so good. That is in effect. And you are celebrating it. Because last year, Tinubu himself bragged that they've met their revenue target. But when you now look at this comparison, for example, when Bokwari was there, for the whole 8 years of Bokwari, they spent over 8 trillion naira on subsidizing fuel. Within 3 years of Tinubu, they have spent nearly 12 trillion naira on something they disguise and hid away. Yeah? When Bokwari was there, he accumulated and left a total debt of 75 trillion naira. But between just 3 years of Tinubu, an additional 85 trillion naira has been added to the national debt of Nigeria. What or where is the correlation if you say you are making more money and you are borrowing more and you are spending them on things that you can't even account for? The minister said he will look into where the money goes to. But about the money, in fact, let's start with the guy that was probing him. This one, Oguno, from Borno, I think.
Where are these monies going to? This is my question. Why is budget not implemented? Because it is a breach of the law and it's an impeachable offense.
It's Mohamed Tahir Muguno. I represent Borno North Senatorial District. Mr. Honorable Minister, I've listened carefully to your brief and the very beautiful figures that you have reeled out
to implement the budget. Where are these revenue going to? If the budget, for example, 2025 budget has not been implemented, and we have to roll over 70% of 2025 to 2026, and that with the promise that 30% will be implemented before March. Up to March, even 30% was not implemented. National Assembly has to extend the lifespan of the budget up to September to allow government to implement just 30% component of 2025 budget. The issue of 2026 have not arisen completely, has not arisen. Has not even started up initial. It has not even arisen. So, don't you think is it not contradictory? Or why are these revenues going to? To the extent that the budget is not being implemented. It is through the implementation of the budget that dividends of democracy is being brought to the doorsteps of the people. If the budget is not being implemented, why is the function of government? For example, security of lives and property of the people is the primacy of governance. All the security agencies that we have been interacting with them, they are reporting to us that they have received zero allocation in terms of their capital. Where are these monies going to? This is my question. Why is budget not implemented? Because it is a breach of the law and it's an impeachable offense. Then about 3.7 trillion naira was received last month, and only 2 trillion naira was disbursed to the 3 tiers of government. About 1.7 trillion was retained. Why? Why is it that 1.7 trillion was retained? Why not disburse all the 3.7 trillion to the 3 tiers of government? This is my question. Thank you. Why are these monies?
Because LGBT, Wayo government, you have. Imagine people who are claiming that they are doing well and they have not been able to implement 30% of their own budget, that they are rolling budgets over and rolling over and rolling it over. Like, in what accounting world is that a normal thing to do by any government in any country? I have never heard anything like that until Tinubu came. And guess what? They are beginning to make it look like that's how it has always been. That Tinubu is going to stop it. Stop what? Stop what he started. Rolling over budgets. So you are unable to have 30% performance because they have been selling you lies and after lies. And there's no how much they would cover it other than to possibly keep themselves in power. That's the only way they can probably escape it. But eventually, yeah. So behind the scene, okay, mind you, by the way, when Wale Idun was there, I remember one of the reasons why they said he had to go. It was when he granted an interview where he practically said they have not been able to meet their expected revenue target. They've tried everything. Business are dying slowly. So those ones who are still alive are being squeezed out of lives, right? Different form of taxation and the rest. That's what brought this Oyedele to say, okay, maybe the way they are squeezing the surviving businesses in Nigeria is never going to be enough. And at this point, they have already created this large stomach for thousands of their foot soldiers who are always waiting for their own, alpha on how to suck from that your national purse like never before. So how would you feed these hungry, lazy, unproductive praise singers around you, and then be able to also perform your supposed budget? Because listen, when you want to plan a budget, from me, I know how your budget simply means how much do you have and how much can you afford, so to say, right? Then what do you want? So at that point, even if you have this bigger dream, okay, and you look at your budget, yeah, you look at what you are going to earn in the same period, you might need to prune down your expectations on your budgets, Abi. So in Nigeria, the way they plan their budgets, they have a non-oil revenue, non-oil sort of like revenue, okay, where from taxations and then and others like that. Then they have the oil and other natural resources revenue that they also, but it is not the abundance of this revenue that actually should excite people, so to say, but it is those who are in charge of these revenues who will tell you the value placed on them and how much they got back and how much they are delivering. If you have the experience of Tinubu in Lagos when he started his Alpha Beta and he took over the job of the Lagos State Revenue Service, they became those who are now saying, this is how much they generated and this is how much. Okay, this is how much we generated, this is how much we are taking from it. Whatever they declare is what they choose to declare. And that is now like reintroduced to at the national level. So when Tinubu and his gang, right, put together ridiculous figures that doesn't match, and then these bigger, massive dreams that also doesn't really match, okay, they want you to just live in that lie than question the logic or the possibility of it. What does that mean? Nigerians are poor. Majority of them are unemployed. And if you want to get money from them, the first thing and the right thing to do is to invest in them. Invest in critical infrastructures that can help, like reproduction and the rest of that. Then tax them, make money. So these guys who control how much they tell us they are making from taxation, how much they are making from the sale of, their oil blocks and all those things, whatever they declare is what they will now have to share into three: the federal government, the states, and the local government. Now, the federal government needs to now plan whatever budget is got for the national, for the country, after taking about 55% of the money. It is then they have to like, okay, should we invest in power, rail, all of that kind of a thing, right? And see how much money we can save from what we are spending out. No. Tinubu and his gang, right? Number one, they wrote a budget that the recurrent expenditures, which is the salaries, emoluments, and all these packages they give to the public office holders and that, right? That one already is taking over 70% of the entire budget, where they only have just about 25, 27% for capital projects. So Tinubu and his gang, they didn't really care about what should have been inside that budget. He has his own special project called Legacy Project. That's where the Lagos-Calabar Expressway comes from. There is no appropriation for it. The only involvement of the National Assembly in that project, which is the biggest project ever embarked upon by any government in Nigeria, nearly $13 billion project, okay? Now, there is no kind of like competition for the bid and all of that to get the project. He gave that to his friend in the company, which he also has interest, but there is no real budgetary conversation around it. So the money to pay for it is purely to be borrowed under an arrangement that, you see, all these states, they would not question what they do with their general kind of like revenue, because the law says every penny made by that country should be slashed into three, and one for the federal, one for the states, and one for the local government. But if Tinubu did something quickly in 2023 to put a wool over the other thieves who are going to go on this journey with him, what was that? When Bokwari printed over $50 billion, 27 trillion naira, and shared the money, that nobody knows what they did with it. And Tinubu came. In order to cover up for what he was about to do, he now did what they call the securitizing the debt. This was money called Ways and Means. That's the loan given to the federal government of Nigeria by the Central Bank of Nigeria. So the arrangement is that the Central Bank of Nigeria must not give more than 5% of the entire budget in that budgetary year. They mustn't give any loan that is beyond 5% of the entire budget. When Bokwari did his own, it was like 15,000% over what the central bank should normally give to the federal government. 27 trillion naira. Okay? So to cover up for what he was going to do, Tinubu now said the money should not be paid by the state, the federal government who took the money from the central bank, right? Should not be paid for the next 100 years. Meaning that money, okay, that loan that should ordinarily have crippled some of these estates if they had to start repaying them. Tinubu canceled that debt and told them that, you know what, they shouldn't worry about it for the next 100 years. And they started printing their own money in a way to cover up for the shortfalls in their expected revenue. Remember that they needed more money, and Nigerians are poor. They can't get more than what Nigerians can give. Do you understand? So they resorted into taking loans and loans and loans wherever they could get that from. They started fixing the book, like, doctoring the book, giving out ridiculous statistics that doesn't really make any sense. And their friends in the media, locally and internationally, they always would help them, to, what do you call it? To rate them. Oh, Nigeria achieved this and that. When people now ask that, how come all of these are not reflecting in the lives of the people as it should be, right? They will say, no, people should, reform takes time and all other lies. Here is another APC senator who probably out of shock was asking this.
Of serious concern to Nigerians. What I'm saying is in the public domain is not anything hidden. When this government came in, it inherited, I think, over 75 trillion naira. Now it has added almost 75 to 80 trillion naira in borrowing. And despite this, budget implementation is nowhere where we want it to be, as said by the Chief Whip of the Senate. We have not even started implementing the 2026 budget. Of serious concern.
And this is July 2026. So that should be ridiculous in a way, right? Anyway, they said the minister, the tax man who wrote that tax law for Tinubu, his answer was that, oh, listen, you see, whenever we announce that we have met the revenue target or surpassed it, that doesn't mean that we have met enough money to fund our budget. So he now gave an example. He said, let's say, for example, they have the revenue target of 7 naira. And in the course of a few months into the year, different agencies have now met, like, passed or surpassed the 7 naira at like 8 naira. So that means they have met their target and passed it. But the budget itself may be 10 naira. How do you budget for, how do you pay for a budget that you don't have the same expected revenue? And now said that's where the loan comes in. But his analysis as well is so faulty because the ratio of Nigeria borrowing to revenue is put at, let me use the layman, kind of like a layman explanation, okay? So it is like in every loan they take, for example, let's say they take a loan of, or let's say they generate a revenue of 2 naira, okay? And they take a loan of 8 naira. That is ratio 8 to 2. You cannot say, I am planning to generate 7 naira, okay? And then you, in real life, you actually generated 2 naira, but you want to spend 10 naira. To cover up for that gap, you took a loan, 8 naira loan. But to make yourself feel better, you're like, oh yeah, we generated 7 naira. But in real life, the loan you have taken is so more. Like the loan they have taken is so much more than all the revenue they have declared in 3 years. Do you get that? So how do you then say you surpass your revenue of 6 naira by 1 naira? So you have surpassed it. So therefore you are supposed to possibly just go and borrow 3 naira, right? 3 naira. But in real life, No, you're actually borrowing 8 naira, 7 naira to cover up the shortfall. Even upon that, you still couldn't take your budget beyond 25, 27% performance. Failure, 27 over 100. That you have to roll the budget year in, year out, while the people continue to groan and wonder, why is this reform not reforming? Listen to him, the minister.
NRS exceeding revenue, custom service exceeding revenue. Where is all this money going and why are we still borrowing? And it's a very important question. Important because we have a lot of needs as a country. When we take our budget, and let's say it's 10 naira, that is the amount we want to spend, including personnel costs, running government, paying debt service, and building infrastructure. It's 10 naira. We look at all our numbers and we say we can generate 6 naira. 6 naira is our revenue target. Our expenditure is 10. If we end up generating revenue of 7 naira, we will say we have exceeded our revenue target. It's not a lie. But we still need 3 naira to balance the budget because we need to spend 10. So this is the reason why both can coexist. Government can exceed revenue target and still have to borrow. And in terms of where the money is going, this is one of the analyses we are working on in the Ministry of Finance. Very soon we're going to be able to release it, putting numbers to it. But just to give a couple of examples.
He has no detail. He had no details of where the money was going. So they are still going to do analysis of that. Why would you not have the record of where the money is going? Your expected expenditure is 10 naira. Okay? And then your targeted revenue is 6 naira. So it's not a lie if you say you've passed it when you make 7 naira. So does that not mean that when you now borrow 3 naira, that means you 100% gets everything you need, right? Ministries or parastatals or majority of them are lamenting that their own capital projects have not really been funded because there's no money. So where is the money? Here is one senator telling you where most of the money goes.
So we thought we are investigating one agency. We didn't know that the name of the fake agencies are 2 in 1. They always put Presidential Economic Advisory Council / Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council. And yet his letter of appointment does not carry that Presidential Economic Advisory Council. But if they are writing to agencies, they will include one other agency. He was a DG to 2 different agencies. We can, based on the evidence before us, he was a DG to Presidential Economic Advisory Council, as well as a Director General to Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council. We have all the facts here. So thank you, Clark. Write to them, write to Federal Director, because the approval for waiver given to them have extended to Budget Office and Federal Director. So for this investigation to equally have a very clear procedural line, if the Director General of Budget Office and the Minister for Budget and Economic Planning will come to speak to us like you, I believe Nigerians will know the truth, and the truth, the right thing is going to be established. So I hope with what will go out there in the media, other people we invited will be so patriotic, like the head of civil service of the Federation, to speak to us with facts, to speak to us with evidence, and to speak to us with reference. So I think the 2 directives is Federal Director Commission, Police, yes, Director of Salaries and Chairman Salaries and Wages Commission, as well as Federal Revenue Mobilization Commission, it was mentioned here. So those agencies should be invited to appear on Thursday. Write the letter.
Now the guys are looking at some of the agencies that are all staffed They've got a mobilization fund and the rest of them. But these guys are like, we don't even know who they are. Tinubu's regime. The National Assembly themselves are all in business, so they are all in NATO. Don't get it twisted. The National Assembly is where the ridiculous loan approval have been given. That's why they call them the rubber stamp. And it's also the place where the budget padding is very famous. Yeah, there are experts within their own National Assembly that ensure that they infuse some of these bogus, ridiculous projects that were ended up being funded. But a lot of them are currently like complaining because even the constituency projects are not the places where they have always been padding the budget or with what they have always been padding the budget with, right? Tinubu is not releasing money. They are reading it in the papers that the economy is getting better. They are making more money, blah, 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 but they are not getting it. For example, yeah, in this their 2026 budget, okay? Let's see if you can see the screen. Where they want to use 22.15 billion naira for palaces, different palaces across Nigeria. The innovation of community halls and palaces in selected central communities. Now, if you look at the ministry that wants to do this project on your screen, pay attention. The first one, the renovation of community hall and palaces in selected central communities in Lagos. Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Guess the agency that wants to go and do the job. Federal Cooperative College Ibadan will go and build palaces in Lagos. See? Modernization and furnishing of some selected national heritage palaces in communities across Nigeria. Then you see 2.6 billion, 1.5 billion, Ministry of Science and Technology will be doing something to palaces. So, see the school that's going to do it, the agency. Sheda Science and Technology Complex, Abuja. They will come and build, okay. Like all of this, or the 8.05 billion naira for to churches and mosques. There is one in Abia State, Bende. There's a provision and distribution of musical cultural equipment to churches in Bende local government, Abia State. 1 billion naira. See, they said industrial arbitration panel. The ministry awarding the contract, Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment. Provision of alternative power solar supply to mosque in Zamfara North, Senatorial District, 1 billion naira. Energy Commission of Nigeria is the agency. Meanwhile, the Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation is doing it. There's the one for presidency, construction of churches, mosques, and support for religious groups in some selected farmers' communities in Gombe State. The presidency will spend 500 million around that. Similar one in, you get that? Rufai, there's this conversation on the Arise, by the way, on it.
No way these lawmakers would tell me that they didn't know about this padding in this budget. Everything from these lawmakers have been fraud. Tax law, fraud. Budgets, fraud. Everything, fraud. They know. Oji, the question you should ask yourself is, why is that church project went to Bende? Who is from Bende? That's the question you should ask, Oji.
Yeah.
Why is that the mosque project went to Zaria? Who is from Zaria? You think they don't know? You think it's today they've been padding these budgets? Everything fraud. Rubber stamp assembly, fraud. But Shebi, when we asked one of them yesterday, he started campaigning for President Tinubu. You think they don't know? They say, I don't have details on it. All I just want to say is that President Tinubu has done very well. We know. But look at it, Oji. So it's a systemic pattern. Oji, the question we should ask is, the reporting is not even complete here, because what about the ones they hid that you will never see? Oji, Ministry of Livestock was seen building projects, church projects. Most of the parastatal were seen doing one constituency project or the other. Oji, till date, 8.8 trillion. If not because of our World Bank, we will not know that extra budgetary spending was made. 8.8, they've not given us line by line item today. They will put these things in the budgets. The sad part, Oji, is that they are not even funding it. If they were funding it, we would say that the budget is moving. Yesterday, that's why I was talking about the Taiwo Yedeli or something. The video that is there, how Mungunu was threatening Senator Mungunu that you are not been funding us. 2025, not funded. Yeah. So they put this thing, they line it out, they take it out of our budget. This is the discrepancy that has been going on. There are many they have hidden there that you don't know. That's why I say the budget, fraud. Yeah. Anything that goes through them, fraud. What's it called? The tax law today, we don't even know the one to believe. Till today, the Senate said we will look into the matter and investigation about the one they released and the one. Has the Senate giving you a report today? Has the House giving you a report today? So people representing the people. Oji, next year we'll talk about this issue again. You remember when we were talking about budget padding? Since the time of Jubrin, we were talking about budget padding. How many years is that? That's close to 5-10 years. And they will padding it. They will pad it. They will pad it again next year. They are already padding the one for next year. Oji, you didn't even talk about the World Cup. World Cup. They had World Cup that we didn't go to into the way.
I'm highly disappointed of Nigerian government because the Nigerian government were highly disappointed in them due to foreseen circumstances. Definitely, I'm one of those people approving. People should die in coronavirus is more better than people should die in hungers. Hunger kills more than coronavirus because some people are less privileged. Due to foreseen circumstances that I said it, some people are less privileged, which they are based on daily pay, which are not even based on salaries. But our government thinks that the knockdown is the best solution to coronavirus, and proving it to an extent and to the levels of alacrity that if someone die in coronavirus, it's more efficient to die in hunger, because some people will be at indoor. There's no a way to make.
It's just like they are just playing with the lives of millions of Nigerians with no fear of consequences. That's the way I see it. Because imagine if people actually knows the kind of like the deepness, like the how far the rot is in the system that is meant to help them. Do you understand that? Like, they put all of these ridiculous projects in that budget and they start hunting for the money. It is not to do the project per se, okay? It is their own conduit that a lot of them are plugged in. And I remember, right, in, I think it was in 2019 or so, when the budget of Nigeria was padded with over 2,000 fake projects, okay, running into about 150 billion naira, money meant to be stolen from the budget. Once the funds were released, these guys will catch them and they will disappear. In 2020 or 2021, the number increased to over 2,000. About by the time they got to 2025, last year, the one they didn't even fund, though, the fake project padded into the Nigerian budget was over 6,000. Fake. And people are easily discovering them, just like this. Some, unknown agency or even a university in Maiduguri, okay, they will have their name listed as the agency that is going to construct or rebuild the Palace of Oba of Lagos. How can a university in Maiduguri come and rebuild the Palace of Papa in Lagos. What ridiculous thing is that? How did that even pass through your National Assembly? Because they put it there. Akpabiole.
Down this motion, and that we can set up a small committee to work with the management of both chambers, the House of Representatives and the Senate, to understand what he is coming through. Because personally, I've never seen the budget of National Assembly. Yes, Senator Tamboa, you were a speaker. Maybe in the House of Reps, they show you. They used to show. That's the point. You see? So the fault lies here in the Senate. The way I do things, not that I'm nonchalant, is that as if they make it a closed thing, and that the Senate President does not have anything to do with the management funds and all that. So, Senator Karimi, you should have discussed this even with me in the presence of the CNA and the principal officers of management, so that I get clearance on what you are coming up with. But talking about internal tenders board and all that, should this be in the public glare before we clean up our house? Like Senator Yaya said, we should start with ourselves, and we should get the two chambers to know exactly what is going on. And then we should also debate and understand the budget. We should know how much is coming, what is going to where, and what is going to where. This motion is premature. It's only after you have done that you can now come and present the motion like this. So we give you an opportunity to withdraw the motion.
So do you know why they are all talking about budgets? Money, money, money. About a month ago, Tinubu stopped paying those constituency projects money. He actually stopped it. That means those of them who have been planting things inside the budget since 2023, some of them have probably not been paid. Election is coming. So when is the money coming? So to them, Tinubu is withholding money that they will use for election. And that is unacceptable. So you, Mr. Minister, come here. What are you saying? Like, are you saying that your revenue that you claim to have met, even the loans and everything, where is the money going? Because we are not seeing it. They are lawmakers, so they are supposed to be following the money, but they are not following the money for probity's sake. They want to have their own share. Yeah, because according to them, Tinubu and his gang are the ones who are feeding fat right now. Somehow, after using them, the National Assembly, so it seemed like he's about to abandon them, and they are not going to have any of that. That is why you are watching this. But for the citizens who have become so frustrated, right? If these guys are so lawless, why should they be the ones to be lawful? Like this one arrested by some task force. Watch this.
Shout. No, shut down. Let me begin shout. People should frame it. This country, see people that are spoiling this country. Figure me. How can you pick somebody that I threw just refugees inside the door? Carry me. Like you're taking me. Carry me to that court. Carry me to that court. I'm not telling us I don't even know. I don't get money. Carry me. We are going there. Oh, yeah, now carry me to the court now. Carry me. Let me see the judge that will not sue me because I steal from you people. I went and killed somebody. All the nonsense what they do for this town now. I'm not seeing me and I won't go.
Don't press my bag. Don't press my phone.
When I carry me go away and I go give me transport. Carry me come back. I don't even back on a tire and I no agree. When I carry me go, I go give me transport. Carry me come back. At least 200. I be far from where I carry me. What kind of problem is this? People will see something that is bad, you will not do. As if I even throw the thing on the roadside, it's a different thing. I put it inside, you say the time has passed. I say, okay, I'm sorry. People are still carrying me to where I don't know. People are still carrying me to where I don't know. I'm a citizen of this country. I have freedom to do whatever I want to do. As far as I did not steal, I did not do anything. You don't have any right. What are you taking me to court to go and do? You want to sue me that I don't know my rights? People should go and sue me now. Which kind of problem is this? This early money. People are carrying me to court. Oh yeah, now I'm gonna carry me go now.
Are you finished?
No, video me, and make sure you post it. I want to see it. Make sure you post it. Let me see the work that people are doing in this country. People are the ones that are adding to more pains in this country. All the things where they happen for this country. Waiting on I don't do.
Continue.
When I won't carry me, go the court now.
Including you too.
More will go the court now. She na court. I keep person one. I won't carry me go court. Mona carry me go the court. As I don't beg better, and I carry me from that side carry come. If I ever struggle with a different thing.
Continue.
I will cause problem here. I will be like son.
He say.
I will cause problem here. I will cause problem. I'm gonna allow me my come here. Allow me my come here. Daddy, I'm so angry. I'm so angry. Mona carry me go there now. Mona carry me go. Because this country, I don't say in this life, if I don't become somebody, stop all this nonsense when people they do. I know why. She been at school like that, I go soon finish. But all of them are waiting now. They add to the nonsense within this country, and I want come out, and I want me the country better. It starts from you, all of you. Somebody have told you I don't know. You want to take me to court to go and do what? That I steal. I steal. I beg. Anything one I want carry me go, man, I carry me go. For I don't tire when I will return me because I did so. I don't even get strength. When I even get work to give me, when I give me work, I don't tell on how it be for me.
Continue.
I find what give me, whether not to follow on the waka, or I pay me monthly.
The country first. This is what Poverty Development Party, they call PDP. This is what they don't understand. That is about you. It's about your future.
We are not taking his head. Sounding. We are cutting his head off.
Change. At the federal level, we change them.
It's a helicopter drone camera.
We pray Buhari, not because they are not other people. Not because Bola Tinubu is not interested in being the president. I'm capable, competent, qualified, youthful, younger, and richer. But there are a lot of times that people must make sacrifice for their nation. Change. We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt.
I bring you a message of hope. We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
So talking about take me to court. So I was in court yesterday, right? And not without its associated drama. I mean, the usual overzealous security, the DSS guys, you know. Charade is being tried on an allegation of calling Tinubu a criminal. However, the DSS that is currently prosecuting him are also doing everything as well, right, to model the case. On the one hand, they wanted him jailed for calling Tinubu a criminal, while Tinubu is never going to be allowed to come and be a witness. I mean, they would love to invite him and so many others. So one of their witnesses at the court hearing or appearance yesterday was a DSS officer, allegedly to have written a letter that indicted the Showore, only for the guy to say, no, he didn't write the letter, on and on. So the case got adjourned. But again, the same DSS did as they normally do, right? Which is to block the supporters, including lawyers, from accessing the courts whenever they are there to intimidate Showore and all that in the courtroom. But this time, Showore and his supporters came with a different style, sort of, a style where they brought their own drummers, music instruments, and the rest of that, right? To disturb the supposed peaceful serenity of the courts. They are telling them that, let Showore go. If you do not want this place to always be like this, it's a long watch. So I want to share that with us. All right? Here. She'll call it Showore's persecution, by the way. Okay.
Revolution!
Revolution! Now! Tinubu must go! Thank you. Video my car, please.
You know how Mike,
Please. The staff stood in the witness box. A principal officer, General Service, Onwem Davis, said before the Federal High Court judge that the letter that was presented in his name, he never authored it.
Unsigned signature.
So he presented it to him 3 or 4 different times. He said, I never wrote this letter. Forgery of the highest order is why I'm being presented for trial over forged documents. But what we know and what the judge has advised us, or well, what our attorneys have advised the judge is that the DG himself of DSS was presented since one said he doesn't even know anything. He just asked him to write the letter. And they read to him a portion of the letter that says Tinubu supporters are going to be angry because I called him a criminal. They asked him, do you know his supporters? He said no. Are you his supporters? He said no. Is the DG a supporter of... does he know? This is what we have spent almost a year just suffering over. I have not suffered because all these things are blessing in a disguise. Because we have a country to change. And in changing the country, certain things must happen. Certain people must play some roles. Including, I want to introduce our friends here. This is Haruna Gololo. Yes. He was in prison with me because he told the truth about the Senate president. I was sent to prison because I told the truth about the president. And Peter and Mama P, they are here. They were sent to DSS because, I apologize, because they claimed that they spent their own money in Enugu Toscana club, where I'm hoping to go to. The only problem is that I don't have money to give anybody. But you know, when you see a state become very frivolous, it tells one thing and one thing alone. It's about to collapse. Any regime that you see that start picking kulikuli, agbado, and akara as their economic policy, you know that regime is on the way out. And we owe them a duty to get them out of our way so that this country can breathe, so that the poor can breathe, so that human rights can have a place in our life, so that our economy will not be operating 3 fake budgets at the same time. Gololo is feared because he will not only speak in English, he speaks in Hausa. They dread him. And so we are happy, and I keep saying it, I am always the happiest person that I'm privileged to be able to speak truth to power and to be punished for doing it so that this country can have a fresh lease of life. So our case is adjourned till Tuesday next week.
We are here.
So we will be here, and we implore Nigerians to keep coming to court, not to be afraid. One thing was also established today in court, that the DSS is employed by Nigerian people.
Yes.
It is not the private security organization of anybody.
Or DG for secretariat.
So it's not the DG of DSS is not the megad of the president. But they don't get that memo yet. It's our duty in what we do to let that sink in for all these guys who think that there's no tomorrow. We will remind them that our today is more important than the tomorrow they want to hijack. We will free ourselves today and we'll free ourselves for tomorrow and for the future. So that is our report from the courtroom. We implore the press, because you are part of this reporting. I don't need to remind you. I know that there's one of you who writes reports from the DSS and puts it out. The report is accurate. If you don't, it doesn't hurt us because we are capable of reporting ourselves. Our report will get out there regardless of how you mangle it. But we don't have any problem with you. But try to search your conscience, because we know we are also struggling with your bosses who have all been hemmed in by some of these characters who are using our own resources to oppress our people. The end of oppression has come, because only if we tolerate oppression will oppression thrive in our society. The staff stood in the...
He also had this to say about the Oyo rescue and the expose that followed. Sure?
As the eye for the prize, now give a corona voiceless. What is your reaction?
Well, I have spoken about Orire. Not only did we speak about it, I was one of the many voices in Nigeria who led the protests to the Aso Rock Villa over Orire. That was the day I was tear gas and I collapsed. And we are glad that they are back. But you all know the fraud behind it. The victims who are victims of Nigeria and the victim of this clueless regime are now saying that they were not rescued. It was the terrorists that said we can go and show them the way before the Nigerian army, police. We are even hearing now that the soldier they claim died in an attempt to rescue them did not die in that operation. Nigeria and this leadership is all fraud. So that's what I have to tell you. We will not give up until every Nigerian citizen is safe.
Solidarity! Solidarity!
And our chosen career is to make you safe in your houses, in your schools, places of worship, and anywhere you might be, day and night. And we are calling on Nigerians. Yes, we are calling on Nigerians to close ranks. Make sure you close ranks so that all of your freedoms can be taken care of at once. Not this piecemeal. We want to take over the country and give our people impressions of life. That is the plan. And you can see it. Every day they continue this trial, the more Nigerians are confident that they have found their president.
Yes!
So, and everything you are seeing is not here alone. It's all over the world. Nigerians are hungry and thirsty for our leadership. And it's going to happen. It's just a matter of weeks from now. Yes. I can guarantee you that. So please, don't be afraid. All I want to tell Nigerians is that help is on the way. But do your part. Make sure you secure everywhere all of your votes.
Secure your vote!
Because this time around, you used to vote with your thumbprints alone. This time, you will vote with everything that we have. We give ourselves freedom and liberation from these criminals who are running Nigeria down. Aluta continua.
Solidarity! Solidarity! Solidarity!
Showore for president. So his supporters, the drama part, which I told you of earlier, right, was when the approach to the courts, as well as when the DSS were doing everything to also block them from gaining entrance into the courts. So then the drama, the noise, the singing, the dancing, and all that. And they said every time Showore shows up in court now, they will be doing the same thing. I actually really protested in Abuja. Yeah, in a way. And this one is a long watch, okay? So if you need to get up, stretch, right? Make yourself a new cup of tea or coffee, or refill that glass, but do something while you are watching this, okay? Like the broadcast. Stretch your legs and sit back. Here, in front of the Federal High Court in Abuja, Showore, AC, and the Take It Back movement.
Revolution, we want to do something before we go. Revolution, see the DSS fire. Supporters in court, so you can see, these are Showore supporters in court. Showore supporters in court today. These are Charade supporters.
Guys, we are not here. Progressive.
Yes.
We are not here.
Yes.
So we must be free.
Yes.
Tinubu not get set.
Yes, so
Tinubu is a criminal.
Tinubu is a criminal. Yes. 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 We dey go. We dey go. We dey go.
Go for it, go for it. No, go stay back.
Our president is here. Winner.
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not.
Chai!
ẹ má dìbò fáwọn kìnnápà o. ẹ má dìbò fáwọn kìnnápà o. ẹjọ́ rí yín ó pé. 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 ẹ má dìbò fáwọn kìnnápà o. ẹjọ́ rí yín ó pé. ẹ má dìbò fáwọn kìnnápà o. ẹjọ́ rí yín ó pé. yín ó pé. ẹjọ́ rí yín ó pé. ẹ má dìbò fáwọn kìnnápà o. ẹjọ́ rí yín ó pé. ẹ má dìbò fáwọn kìnnápà o. ẹjọ́ rí yín ó pé. 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 ẹ má dìbò fáwọn kìnnápà o. ẹjọ́ rí yín ó pé. ẹ má dìbò fáwọn kìnnápà o. ẹjọ́ rí yín ó pé.
That mama kind of like telling them that they shouldn't vote for kidnappers. Don't vote for APC. Egbekegbe. APC. Egbekegbe. Meanwhile, to those of you who are the hang on. She already said something about the Oyo Orire abduction and all that, but we're going to come back to that. All right. So Kwakwansop, who is the running mate to Peter Obi for this 2027 elections, right? He was with Sheung 2 days ago, okay, answering some questions like, defending their own position and what they are proposing to change when they take over power from Tinubu in 2027. So according to Kwakwansop, he said that he kind of repeated what Peter Obi himself said publicly, repeatedly, that 4 years is enough to turn things around in Nigeria. And he said if he has the opportunity to become Nigeria president, he wouldn't even go for second term. Just 4 years is enough. That is what Kwakwansop also told the Sheung, that it's a gentleman agreement, that he strongly believed that the caliber of Peter Obi would never renege on such a gentleman agreement. So APC reacted afterward. So the arrangement is that Peter Obi is going to run for 2027. And if he wins, he will do just 4 years. And the power will return back to northern Nigeria, where Kwakwansop will then probably have the opportunity to run for president. In return, he would expect Peter Obi and the obedient to support him, according to his, his discussion with the Sheung.
To you that you have said you will never deputize anyone. You want to be the president, and that has been your ambition. Is it your realization that it's a turn of the South, and that the fact that those who say Kwankwaso's eyes is on being president in 2031, so the game plan is you deputize Peter Obi, who says he's going to do 4 years, and then in 2031 you dovetail into becoming president. That's your game plan?
Maybe all of the above. I'm happy to say that even before the 2023, if you watch my interview, I said after, under that circumstance. Now, the circumstance of 2023 is completely different from the present circumstance, especially that now we have a president from the southern part of the country who is completing his term next year. And the circumstance has changed to the extent that together we felt that the presidency should go to the south for 4 years. Thereafter, it will come back to the north. And we believe that that should be the consensus of everybody in this country, so that we can move together as a family, both north and south. So that's the position.
So it's true, those who think that Kwankwaso wants to be president in 2031, that's right.
Well, we
as the ultimate plan.
We are praying that all of us should see 2027 and of course 2031, and we will look at the circumstance and see what can be done. But by the grace of God, I believe our party, and of course my humble self and His Excellency Peter Obi, we have a short-term plan which we are executing now. And of course we also have our medium and long-term plans for the country. And that is what we are working on now.
So you agree when Mr. Peter Obi says, I'm going to do only 4 years. That is sacrosanct, isn't it?
Oh yes, I personally believe him. And I don't think, based on what I now know about him, will renege. I don't think he will change his mind when the time comes. And we are all gentlemen, even though we have accepted to put it even on paper.
You've signed it on the dotted line?
Yes, oh yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
As a party, or between you and Mr. Peter Obi?
Both. We have done one for the party, and we have done another one between the two of us.
What was the agreement between you and him?
Well, the agreement is what you said, that after 4 years, he will come and work together, team together as a group, as a party, as friends, brothers, and so on, and involve everybody to work together so that after his term, or our term, of 4 years, 2027 to 2031, then it comes back to the north, and that is the general agreement.
What changed your mind?
And do you know something about that arrangement? To the critics, right? Peter Obi is too desperate. Yes, to the critics, they say he is too desperate to forfeit the supposed constitutionally allowed right of the people of the eastern Nigeria. Yeah. But in response, according to Obi and his own handlers, he is not running as Igbo president. He is running as Nigeria president, and therefore 4 years is enough to make an impact that even the Igbos will be proud of what he is going to achieve. That whether it is 8 years or 4 years, it won't really matter anymore. But there are those who believe that, no, that is not believable. Somebody like this person is a professor, right, in APC.
Fortunately, you and I have had the privilege of working within Aso Rock. Aso Rock has its own logic and culture. Unfortunately, neither Kwankwaso nor Obi have been in Aso Rock. They have never worked there. They don't know the culture of the environment. They don't know what the environment will do to them. It's an environment that tends to give you the false impression of your power and acceptability. By the time they get there and start seeing all the opportunities and powers and privileges, they will not be talking of one term. In any case, to be a one-term president is to spend the first 2 years understanding the system before you can even begin to think of how to implement your vision of Nigeria. And then by the time you have spent 2 years, you are thinking, people are thinking of the next election. At least if Obi is not thinking of the next election, Kwankwaso will be thinking of becoming president. So it's just pure hogwash to be talking about agreement. In any case, you have to ask them, who are you signing agreement with? Who are you declaring your intention with? Is it with your political party? Is it within the National Assembly? So an agreement with who? What kind of agreement? You can only declare that when we get there, we'll spend only one term. But really, that is to assure the North. But the North is assured already by the fact that if Tinubu wins a second term, constitutionally, he will not be able to go for a third term. It will be the turn of the North, automatically. So who should we believe? Who should we trust? The credibility of the constitutional limitation or the verbal declaration of a pair that had not even tasted power? When you taste the power of Aso Rock and the possibilities there, you will not be talking of living. You saw Obasanjo after 2 terms was even thinking of a third term. And I'm seeing right now some movement towards extension because somebody is talking about a 6-year term. The critical point is that the North will get the presidency in 2031, whether you sign an agreement or you don't sign it. What is important is for them to face how they can win power and see what they can do with it. But I'm not sure that one term is a good idea for anybody who aspires to be president of Nigeria. There's a lot of work to do. You can see with Tinubu, he inherited a horrible economy. They are trying to build it up. I've listened to, watched all the discussion about the economy and the budget and all that. Okay. It takes time to do it. This is 3rd year. This is in fact going to the 4th year.
Okay.
And so we find it difficult that you need to establish yourself. You need to understand the system before your programs begin to germinate and gestate. It takes time. It's not a one-time thing. Nigerian presidency cannot be a one-time.
Now to unfa ma òkúta tó wà ńbẹ̀ ma yọ kúrò ńbẹ̀ ma sabi gbà tá bá ń sa ẹ̀wà.
Professor, anyway, he's a Tinubu supporter, so I don't think his own argument, when you use this, the Nigeria turn by turn Nigeria Limited, okay, his own argument is plausible. They'll say, oh, just let Tinubu destroy your lives for another 4 years now. I mean, what is 4 years? After 4 years now, it's going to go to another person that's also going to deal with your life, not the process that produced them. It is just by right, okay? The North, the South, the East, the West, and the blah, just turn by turn, Nigeria Limited, okay? So when they asked what the Kwakwansop Obi will do different to what Tinubu is doing on this issue of insecurity, he said they will negotiate with the terrorists. Obi also said the same thing. Remember, he said that they would discuss with all the agitators, with everybody, and he was kind of likening them to, But they will discuss with them. In this context, it's kind of like a little bit tricky, yeah? Because terrorists are not agitators, okay? So when you see terrorists who are already carrying out acts of terror, like we are witnessing in Nigeria today, the response of the government is not to negotiate with them. It's not to mobilize them with money. So any government that is going to come in after, that want to do something different, right, should not probably have negotiation, because we are already witnessing that and it's not working. More lives are being lost. And yet the state continue to fund them on the one side too, kinetic and non-kinetic. They have all these fancy words for them. But here is what Kwakwansop had to say. Not really different though.
Relies on them in times of giving them confidence to say what they know. You see, all these things that are happening today, if you go to localities, those places that these insecurities are happening, I can tell you, people know almost everything. They know their locations, they know the names of all those involved, and so on and so forth. But what is happening now is many of the communities are even afraid to go forward and tell the security agencies or agents of what is actually happening, because many of them have done that in the past, and of course they did not enjoy it. So we will give people confidence. We will work on the people, even the terrorists and of course the criminals themselves, to see what can be done really to discourage their action.
So you will have talks with the terrorists?
Of course we will talk.
You will sit down with them?
We will talk to everybody. And of course, if there is any issue that will require the services of the military or other security agencies, I can tell you, we will be very happy to do it. It relies on them.
Okay. I think that's kind of like clear a bit, but sit with the terrorists? Nah, no anymore. But yeah, if they become president or vice president of Nigeria. So Peter Obi himself was saying at a location where he was encouraging people to get their PVC, make sure you register, because they are going to end their voters registration and all that in 2 days, I think. But there is even more. But first, Obi.
Voters registration. All those who have age of registration to vote that have not registered, please go and try and endeavor to register. It is your only way you can contribute in building a better country for your children and for the future of our country. All we want is to have election where those who are competent, who will care for the society, are elected, so that we will have better roads, we have schools for your children, have hospitals, so that a pregnant woman like this can go to hospital and be cared for. The children can be cared for. There will be security. I saw the people of my court for me when I was governor.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
I can see it here now. And the bus that, okay, but the bus that comes for road, so you can see.
My road, they're not lying.
There's no new pickup. You need a new one.
Yes.
All these things are very important. That's why we're saying go and try and register and be part of it. Nothing else. We want to build a country where everybody can be looked after. You can see my friend, he needs to be careful. And that is what the society does to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, the Southeast governors for the 18th time, have endorsed Tinubu, reassuring him that what happened in 2023 will never happen again in the eastern part of Nigeria, meaning there are people will now vote for Tinubu APC. So in some places right now, well, they are already making it a hell to get that your PVC or register to vote. We're even demanding money at this particular location in the eastern part of Nigeria.
In another 2,000 naira for PVC. In another 2,000 naira for PVC. In another 2,000 naira for PVC. Another 2,000 naira for PVC. Stop. Stop Makanako. Look at this woman. Another 2,000 naira for PVC. In another. Also no lapia why you know? Yeah, but on a doma kanakwa. On a kumiye. On a 2,000.
Yeah, he's accusing the INEC officials of demanding for 2,000 naira before they could register anybody. Politics, Abi. In Rivers State, yeah, Fulbara announced to his own political associates, those guys who followed him when he decided to part ways with Wike. He told them yesterday that he's gone back to his boss. And from the report, they said he has been promised a ministerial post. The Mumu guy, right? So they promised him a ministerial post, and he should go and support Chinda, who is now the Rainbow Coalition governorship candidate. I don't know if it's a PDP or APC, but they said it's the Rainbow one. There is a Fubara in the rain yesterday.
You see, they don't.
We have made peace in the states, and we have a total. And I am supporting our Rainbow Party, our Rainbow Coalition. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is our president, and is the one we are supporting. Chinda is the governorship candidate that I am supporting, and anybody who believes in me will support. And every candidate that is under the rainbow. For those of you who are saying, oh, hey, let's stay. We want to collect something before we run. There's nothing to collect. I am already in the family. I've gone back to our family. So please, wherever you are, give your total support to that coalition. We need to move forward. The time of war is over. It's time of peace. And this peace is taking us to another level. What you lose here, you gain another place. That is about life. Eh? So please, I want this to be made clear to everybody. So don't go anywhere and say you are supporting Fubara. No. My position is this, and I've said it here and clearly for everyone to hear. If you are not hearing well, use cotton wool or open your ear and let it enter well. I'm not party to anything that will bring any form of disunity in this state. I've done what I need to do. For now, we're moving forward.
Nuisance, Lele.
Yeah. He acted like he had it in him. And of course, he later fell apart even before he started. In Ogun State, there is different drama currently brewing in APC, Egbekegbe. The current governor who wants to go to the Senate in 2027 has already snatched the ticket from the incumbent senator representing his own senatorial district, Ogun East. So the current governor, Dubious Dapo, and then the former governor, who is also the current senator, Biwiri Daniel, right? So these two, they were supposed to be friends anyway. So, but Dapo felt like he only sort of like helped Daniel to not just have a political relevance, but to also manage his dwindling financial empire. And now he wants what he gave to Daniel in 2015. Then on the other hand, they have this Lagos import senator, that is a Yayi, the one that has now become the anointed candidate of the APC for 2027. Everything seemed smooth and all right at first, where you even had the Yabo Obasanjo, who also came back to come and run for governor. So Yayi is representing a region in the state which has never produced the state governor before, Ogun West. Yabo is from the Ogun Central. Meanwhile, Benga and Dapo, they are from the Ogun East. In that same Ogun East, traditionally so far, seemed to have been the territory of the PDP before Wike crashed everything upstairs, right? And the guy funding that is the son of the Baba Jebu, that bet Mogu, okay? Baba Jebu Kesintin. So Ade Labu, no, what is his name again? Anyway, I will remember, don't worry. So Baba Jebu, the Kesintin man, right, was once the financier of the same Benga Daniel's political incursion into Ogun State back then. His son wants to be governor from Ogun East, Ladi Adebutu. The current governor is from Ogun East, meaning is technically not really going to have his way. Iyabo is from the central. The west is where they believe is probably next to produce the state governor. That's where the Yayi comes from. So initially, they all claimed to have agreed on this until they did not. So at first, Benga, who openly actually supported the idea, didn't know that his own name was probably going to be omitted or sacrificed by Dapo.
Yayi is our consensus candidate, and I was there when we all agreed, and for good reason. Whether anybody likes it or not, and I'm happy you're asking this question, Ogun West, in the last 60 or so years that Ogun State have been created, have not produced a governor. And here you now have a good senator, quite dynamic, who have done a lot of work. If there is something that is better than consensus, we all have our hands in it.
Was initially. Iyabo Obasanjo also supported it because, according to her, Yayi already promised to offset every bill she incurred during her own campaign to be governor. You get that now? So until Yayi probably reneged, and according to Yayi, that's not his own fault. Why should Iyabo Obasanjo be asking him to pay her back every penny she spent since she's been contesting for governor? That he realized that he's a selfish, greedy, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Meanwhile, on the day they announced Yayi as their consensus candidate in their APC, Iyabo Obasanjo and the rest of them were there. Like all of them, they were all there. So, like Benga said, mind you, today the whole thing has changed, sort of, okay? Benga is lost his own return ticket to the Senate, to the governor. Iyabo, who can't be governor again, right, was expecting that they were going to give her senatorial tickets, but that is not also forthcoming. So now she's probably managing to go back to PDP. In all of this, so that's not even the crux of the matter. I'm just giving you the sneak, kind of like a sneak bit of it. Yeah, Ogun politics. So then you had Yayi, who was telling everybody the kind of person Iyabo is.
Mo renege lórí promises olóògbé gba governor òfin olówó tó náà ní dá padà ó wá ń sọ pé kí n dá dọ́là àti náírà padà ṣé mi mo ní kó gbé bá gọ́fúnà. Because I was just looking at her, I refused to make any response. And I think I must make it clear. I visited you like a respected Ogun State indigene that show interest to govern this state. And I thought you meant well for this state. Or rather, I discovered that it's just for personal gain and interest. That is why you want to serve. By asking me to refund you, to pay back what you have expended on this electioneering campaign. First and foremost, I find it insulting. That
was Yayi. This is like the fallout from their consensus arrangement, whatever that is. So Yabo fired back that he's an insincere man, a dishonest man, and in fact, is a dishonorable person. That she never asked him to give him anything. They approached her and they told her that whatever she is incurred, Yayi will pay her back. Okay, which means an endorsement of the consensus that they claimed that they were all there, they agreed. It was like, was not just based on empty promises. They all came with promises that Yabo felt like Yayi is reneging on. This was Yabo on AIT.
The past, so how we were going to revive it was what we were going to start meeting about. He was the one that requested. If I was going to ask him for money, you would think I would be the one to request to meet him. Then when he came, my people made the 3 demands they had talked about. Yes, I said they could make the demands because I am a leader. If I told them not to make that demand, it would be as if, oh, we helped her and of course it didn't work. How are we going to be compensated for our political journey now that ours has ended? The 3 things they asked, and very clear, they said they wanted the Senate for me. I told them I didn't want the Senate. They said they will ask because that was him. The second one that they had spent in politics for in that just the campaign, and 3, not politics in general. Then the money that not the money, but they said they wanted my people to join his campaign because, of course, we're all in the same party. We're going to work together. But they wanted a formal recognition so that they will then join as my own people joining his campaign. When it was just the 2 of us talking, I told him that any of these 3, let me know what he can do. I said, for the Senate, I did not join the race to run for Senate, but my people want something. He actually named the person that they gave the ticket as the default candidate for him and the governor. And I said, look, this person, as far as I know, is not very popular in our senatorial district because I'm on the ground. My team is very grassroots and we know what is going on. And he said, oh, that is what they're going. And I said, fine, just discuss it with the governor and do whatever you want. The second, the money, he said, how much? I said, look, you can do whatever you can do. But I spent money, a lot of people in my team spent money, and whatever you can do, we're fine. I didn't ask you at the beginning. Then the third one was my people. I said, look, bring in a group of people when you already have your team is hard. I will give you 3 people, 1 per senatorial district from my team, from my gubernatorial campaign, and they will work with your team and they will be able. That's a good compromise. I'll come back to you in a week. And what I assume they will do is come back and just come back with some kind of answer for the 3. I did not expect that all the 3 will be answered just as he said or anything. But if you promise me you'll call me in a week, I expect you to call. You can call me in a week and say, oh, I don't have the answers yet, but I'm looking at it. Again, thank you for receiving me. Anything of that order, because we're all human beings. 6 weeks went by. This man did not call me at all. Did not say, and I know people that spoke to him and that on my behalf, what he told them was that I was too busy to talk to me. So after I looked at it and I looked at what was going on, the way the consensus itself was done.
The transmission line is a super highway. for generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn.
Ogun State, that's my state, by the way. So, because of all this fallout from the behind the scene promises of of the next set of people that want to take control of the people's general patrimony, the resources, enrich themselves, fix themselves in different positions, all for themselves. So they came up with a consensus. However, the consensus seemed like broken. With a allegedly recorded the conversation between the former governor, Benga Daniel, who is not going back to the Senate, as well as the father of the PDP governorship candidate, Ladi Adebutu, Sir Kesinti Adebutu, where Benga in a voice was telling the billionaire gamble mogul. How do I describe him, by the way? Business, anyway. Kesinti was telling him about what they are working on in order to further stop this Yayi, possibly APC, in 2027. Meaning, if I can't have it, what makes you think you can? This is trending.
Position. What is on your way? You saw it coming. You saw it coming.
Yes, I think we will signal there. I think we will signal there.
Ada bargaining ni
that one here. I think we will signal there.
If we concept the
president.
The concept of the but other conditions of
the game has become much tougher. It has become much tougher.
Much tougher?
Then you. It has become much tougher. But many people are very unhappy.
I know.
There is something that
actually
but convos. He's coming to see me tomorrow.
Really?
He's coming to see me tomorrow. Don't consult. Omari Milola for I think 10 o'clock in the morning. He's coming. Omari Milola 10 o'clock. Ben. Now, there is still something. There is still something coming.
Something coming. What is it?
But I'm talking to you in strict confidence. Àwọn rẹ́kọ̀dì Yayi. Àwọn kankan tí ìgbà Yayi. Ó máa jáde ní court.
Mi ò gbọ́.
Àwọn kankan gba Yayi. Ó máa jáde ní court.
Àwọn àgbẹ̀ lọ court.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ṣé àwọn other contestants?
Àwọn làwọn díẹ̀. Now, one, ṣe àwọn kò ṣiṣẹ́ ní Guardian. Ṣe àwọn kò ṣiṣẹ́ ní Guardian.
Mi ò mọ̀.
Wọ́n lé ní. Ó jalè.
Evidence wà.
Ṣe àwọn orúkọ ẹ̀kọ́ yẹn. He was a Muslim.
Who were going?
No. And our forms to feel in INEC. He's from Ekiti. He's from Lagos. He's not from Ogo.
He's not from?
He's not from Ogo. Ekiti. Lagos. Ogo. So, now you call what a file, Eleni. So,
well, but they won't be critical.
But at least,
At
least we, our economy have been over them aja. So, let's just come along. Now, do you still want to go all out?
Mo fẹ́ ká assess everything. Number one, Yewa, your stronghold. Are you with me?
Correct.
I believe they will lead there. They will have majority there.
Correct.
Ogun East is our stronghold.
Correct.
But with him now, our majority will reduce in Ogun East.
Correct. Correct.
What's our chances? Central will not be the battlefield.
Correct.
What's our chances?
The enemy is always way Gaskiya is a tougher process. It's a much more difficult process. But fact of the case is that people are not happy.
I know. Ọmọ India náà o ti contact àwọn ọmọ yẹn pé Ládì ló máa ṣẹ́gun. I hope he's sincere.
Gbogbo wọn pátápátá.
Sharafa, before yesterday, ló ti sọ fún pé anything tó máa ń ṣe ó láti ní option B. Only option B ni pé òun àṣẹ fún Ládì. Before yesterday.
Not only that, I've been in meeting all day. I've been in meetings all day. Wọ́n ṣì ń dúró dè mí báyìí.
How time?
Àwọn èèyàn. Amosu is seeing me tonight. Èyí ló yẹ kó travel. Mo ní kò gbẹdọ̀ lọ.
Tani?
Amosu.
Ẹlẹ́màá bá Amosu ṣe meeting kí ni wọ́n kọ́?
Alẹ́.
Ẹ tí ì ṣe?
No. Tí bá ti rí ń sìn. A máa ṣe pàdé.
Ẹ lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ kúrò.
No, Èkó.
Ọmọ wa sì wò.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ó ti dé kó dóde mi. So.
Ọmọ àdùnmí pé ṣe meeting ká tó rí ra.
Àti ṣe.
I could have loved that.
Alẹ́ la máa ṣe.
I could have loved pé kẹ́ ṣe meeting ká tó rí ra.
Mo mọ nǹkan tó ń bá bọ̀.
Kí ló ń bá bọ̀?
He is also not happy.
I know. It's only Oshoba who's happy.
It's only Oshoba who's happy. That's all.
Kí lẹ fi pé Amosu máa ṣe?
Méjì ni. He wants to run. But Oshoba does not want him.
Ṣọ́mà fún ticket.
Tọ́ba fún is a different story. Tọ́ba fún my work out all out against them.
My work out
against them. So the battle is not totally lost, but it's tougher.
Ẹ ṣe ṣí meeting pẹ̀lú Amosu ká wá sọ̀rọ̀ after that.
No problems. Bẹ́ẹ̀lẹ̀ ń lọ lọ́la.
Yes.
Tó bá èmi náà ń bọ̀ London.
Ẹ bá Amosu sọ̀rọ̀. We are not going to give up, but I want that question to be answered.
Okay.
What is our chances?
Okay.
gbogbo àwọn tó ní ọmọ abá ṣiṣẹ́ are they sincere?
I will check.
Then the big question, what do we do to federal power?
Well, you are already doing right with federal power.
Hmm?
You are doing well with federal power. You've offered to support as usual, which is good.
The federal power?
You've offered to support the president with election, which is good.
My contact with government.
I mean, it's practically like normal political conversation, Abi. That is not it. Since Bengas is already on the fallout, right? Baba Adebutu, that's the guy who, the old man that has been funding Ladi, mostly billions and all that. And most of the time, he's been trying to make his son the governor of the state. It's just not happening, at least. So with Benga falling out, he's just telling the old man that their chance, that means the PDP chance is tougher now. But they are also trying to make some moves to see if they could derail whatever arrangements, right, that they have to make a Yayi the next governor in Ogun State. Well, Remi was in Abia, by the way, where she donated 2 billion naira. People were asking, where did she get the money from? Like she could just go anywhere and be like, I'm giving you 1 billion, 2 billion, all of that. Like a bazaar, so to say. So it is Akwete cultural dress, this Igbo Akwete dress, right? The people that makes it in Abia States, they receive this 2 billion naira boost from Remi 2 days ago.
African will. We shouldn't let our children forget that. And I believe I love Ashoke, but the Ashoke is too heavy for my head nowadays. Some are so stiff and they bruise me. And for the quality, the texture of Akwete, and I will tell you, I told Her Excellency, I said, if God brings my husband in a second time, I'll be wearing a buba and wrapper made from Akwete. Yes, I'm going to be wearing that because very soft, breathable cotton. And these women,
Do you get that? So she loves the Akwete so much. According to her, they're so soft textured and in a way that if her husband should come back in 2027, she'll be wearing it every day. Remi, a tragedy averted in Enugu this afternoon when in Benin rather, this afternoon when an Enugu here, this state-owned airline, this new one, right, skid off, one of the aircraft, right, skid off the runway in Benin. There's no real casualty per se, but the aircraft, take a look.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Thank you. Lord, thank you.
No, it never.
Oh my goodness.
don't make him like said I knew who else. I mean I thought that. Yes. Mama somewhere house. No, it never has that. God, I thank you for my life, oh Jesus.
Yeah, there's no casualty. So to say, probably people sustained some injuries and all that, okay? Also, today, the Federal High Court in Abuja sentenced the 3 alleged mastermind of the Orire school children abduction. Those guys, they said they arrested from Suleja. They've sentenced them a week after to life imprisonment. As the case still continues, according to them, life imprisonment.
Sorry.
Nigeria is so corrupt, which I regret the day I was born in this country. It's unfair. This is unfair now. This is unfair. Nigeria is so corrupt, which I regret the day I was born in this country. It's unfair. This is unfair now.
It's unfair. It's like they're just playing on the intelligence of millions of people. In that way, they said these guys, they were arrested through their WhatsApp communication. And it was through that WhatsApp communication they recruited the ones that kidnapped the school children. So which means the real terrorists that kidnapped the school children are currently walking free with their $9 million allegedly paid ransom. Yeah? While these ones have now been convicted of that crime, while the real perpetrators are already plotting maybe another attack as we speak. Isn't that like abuse of? So some said that the political leaders in northern part of Nigeria who have somehow successfully brought the idea of negotiating with a terrorist to the government of the country. Some said most of the attacks that happened in the northern part of Nigeria, especially the famous ones, where state government and even the federal government paid ransoms, huge amount of money, that most of these political leaders from northern part of Nigeria always actually take their own cuts from such transactions or such business enterprise on the lives of the people. Well, here is Ndume, the Borno senator who once slept in prison because he was accused of being a Boko Haram sympathizer or a Boko Haram sponsor, which he denied repeatedly, and he's always been at the forefront. His own answer to the northerners or the northern political leaders benefiting from the ransoms paid to terrorists in northern part of Nigeria. His response with Charles on Arise.
I can relate it to politics because the government did that at one time. In 2011, it was alleged just because somebody who claims to be a Boko Haram member called my number, and then I picked the phone.
And they roped you into it.
They roped me into it. For 6 years, I was going
yes,
to
I
court.
remember that.
And they did. In fact, that was when we became friends, because I think you were curious, and then you didn't believe how the thing adds up. The same thing now. I told you before I came here that you should listen to the video.
I watched the whole video.
You can find contradictions there from the beginning, because this is somebody who is claiming that he has contact with Boko Haram. I believe, I don't know that, because investigation will eventually bring it out. And don't forget that right now, his people, why I say his people, because he's part of my local government, children of Musa have been abducted since 15th May, and they are still in custody. And recently, students of Lhasa that were sitting for exams were abducted, about 37 of them. We still have people that were abducted between Burate and Biu that are in captivity. We still have 56 people from Goshe, that is my local government, where they released 360. My problem with him started then. He demanded for the ransom. And I told him clearly, and up to now my position is that Nigerian government or nobody should negotiate with terrorists, not to talk of...
When you say he demanded for a ransom, what do you mean?
Yeah, because he was the one that said Boko Haram are asking for 5 million.
5 billion.
5 billion.
Right.
And he's the one that claimed now that I was given 1.9 billion. In fact, 5 billion was given to me.
Well, he didn't say it was given to you specifically. He said that the disparity between what Boko Haram or the kidnappers claim they got and what was released is wide. He said 5 billion was released. The kidnappers got 1.9 billion.
Yeah.
What happened to the rest of the money?
That is the question that should be directed to him, because as I told you...
Yeah, but he said he was sidelined, that he didn't, that when it came to the payment of the money, he was told that there were different mediators now, and that was when you came up. The issue of you came up. That's what he was saying.
No, he wanted to use me or to come through me for the payment of ransom.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. I don't mean to interrupt you, because Mr. Kaigame insists that about 5 billion naira was released for ransom, but only about 1.9 billion reached the kidnappers. The Borno state government says no ransom was paid. Which version should Nigerians believe?
I don't know. It is for them to use their head. But what I'm talking about is what...
But you're privy to a lot of these
Just allow me, Charles,
Yeah.
please. Because this is a very serious matter.
It is.
And that's
why we're asking you these
So you
questions.
should not be interfering so that Nigerians will get the truth.
Well, go ahead.
You know, what I insist is, you know, when you lie consistently, then it may look like it is true. But the good thing about truth is, if you say 100 lies, and one truth can come and destroy it. And that's what I'm trying to do, but you are interfering.
I'm not interfering. I'm interrupting. There's a difference. But
Okay,
go
okay.
ahead. Yeah.
My English cannot be
Oh, come on.
So, if he says that 5 billion was paid ransom, then this question is supposed to be directed to him. Because, Charles, in my life, I have never seen 1 billion at once. Not to say that I have never had money that can, if you put them together since I was, but I have never in my life.
In one go.
Seen with my eyes.
But do you believe that the government might have paid a large amount of money to secure the release of those people?
There is this suspicion everywhere. But as I told you, I cannot speak for government.
Right.
I cannot.
But you're privy to a lot of information.
Wait a minute. I'm privy to a lot of information, but not about payment of ransom.
Right, okay.
Because my position on ransom payment up initial or even negotiating with Boko Haram is clear. That I don't support, and I'm not supporting, and I will never support negotiating with Boko Haram, talk less of pay. I can relate it to politics because the
Pardon me. that's his own answer. This was during the, I think during the book, Jonathan's time, when they were negotiating for the Chibok girls, the Borno school children they were taking, the famous one. They never got all of them back. No. But money exchanged hands, the terrorists reorganized, and they carried out more and more deadly attacks in Nigeria. Boala, which people are now calling the Bulaya, was with Esheun, yesterday, when they were discussing again the security, the politics, the Tinubu's reform, and the blah, blah, blah. But this particular part caught my attention. And to me, that is the highlight of the entire conversation they had. Junk, Bollock. But this person speaks for the president of Nigeria. Maybe you should listen.
Indeed, if security has improved, Mr. Boala, why do many communities still remain displaced or inaccessible?
The progress has been made.
Why? Why is it happening?
That's because, like as you are now, if I'm trying to look at the best description of, you go to church probably, and it is not the will of God that people should be poor. Why are there poor people in church?
Is that your standard of comparison, or indeed if
in Oyo State, where Solo Makinde Ibadan is also running for president under the party or under the banner of APM. Remember, it's PDP. Since Werewike and the Zone gang have successfully, So, talking about Oyo, since Solo Makinde of Ibadan is running for president in 2027 as APM presidential candidate, he was supposed to be a PDP guy, but since Werewike disrupted this whole thing, right? So he's already moved his own supporters, his own team to go and run under APM. So what happened to PDP in Oyo State? No idea. But somebody who is a former deputy governor in that same state, right? Azim Bolarumi, led his own group to take over the supposed PDP secretariat in Oyo State, since Makinde is no longer their member in that sense. But Makinde is saying that he's also having a coalition of PDP and APM in Oyo State. But take a look at the PDP secretariat when these other guys took it over today. I mean, that was supposed to be the party headquarters of the ruling party in the states. So I don't know when last they used that place. Doesn't look like they've used it in a while. In Delta State, right? The governor appointed a man as commissioner. Maybe, I don't know, maybe out of gratitude or very much like unexpected, undeserved. I don't know. He made it to the internet when he knelt down for the governor to say thank you.
Thank you. Greet your wife. Greet your wife. Thank you. Okay. Proceed, your wife.
Oh, why is he crying? I mean, crying. What was it, Thierry? Probably some of you knows the answer, right? So this one was inside their court room in Abuja this afternoon. It was recorded during the time the DSS was trying to stop Showore and his supporters from gaining entrance or leaving the courtroom and all that stuff, all that drama. All in dark.
You see, they don't take lies for Federal High Court. They don't take lies. Many people don't go hang for jail. They don't take lies.
So, Tinubu, have you seen that you have failed this country?
No light. No light for Federal High Court.
This is Federal High Court. Tinubu must go.
Tinubu must go. talk. No light. Tinubu must go. It's okay. Court proceeding is going on. No light. No light. They don't bring light. It's okay, please. It's okay.
I was out for just about 2 minutes or 3 minutes before the alternative power source kicked in. So thank you very much, everyone, for your time. It's just another catch-up evening until I see you again. So thank you. Remember, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you another time. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Maiyegun máa wí. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Maiyegun dayari Politico. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Maiyegun dayari Maiyegun number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Presido bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀ oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o ayé.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀ ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kí. ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lérí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀gọ̀lọ́mọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ̀lú ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù Maiyegun ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ tún.